got us. You're on camera through the endless horsepower of our family car, rowing us to take a shot of our new shade system. Alright, you guys gonna go ahead and start putting up our new shade cover?
Ready?
Yep. So the other day I was doing dishes and I heard a dinghy pull up next to the boat, and I heard someone say, you know, can you go get your mom? And I came up, and I'm never sure what is happening when someone pulls up next to the boat and asks to see me, whether it's, you know, good or bad, and they're worried about the kids on the bow, or, you know, who knows. And so he pulled up and said, so I had this boat once. It was a 31 Pacific Seacraft, and it had this shade cover that was made for it, and it's never been used, and I have this big boat now, 42 foot, so it doesn't work on it, but I've had it in my storage center for, you know, more than a decade. It's never seen the sun, so it's really in great shape. Would you have any interest in it? And I said, well, yeah, you know, of course, that would be great.
Why don't we go ahead and take it out of the, let's go ahead and take it out of the bag.
We have a boom tent made out of an awning fabric that I just ordered offline, and it works well enough, except it blows around in the wind a lot. If we get over like 10 knots of wind, it becomes quite noisy. So we're trying to figure out how to adjust that. So I thought, well, maybe if we try this other one, it will save us some hassle with the boom tents.
Chilly out here.
Alright, he said it should be pretty self-explanatory.
We're not so very self-explanatory. It's a house with a window. Asshole right here. Yeah. This is obviously the mast. Well, let's start by putting on the mast hole and we'll see what happens.
I don't know that.
How do we climb up the mast? No, it's too large.
Are you on your boom horse?
Yeah.
So he brought it back and that evening, and we put it up the next day.
No ideas.
It didn't fit in the stern of the boat where it was designed for. I think somebody might have tied you on already. But we managed to kind of rig it over the bow of the boat, which turned out to be quite lovely because we don't actually have a shade cover for the bow of the boat. The last one that we had disintegrated, and we've not yet replaced it, and that was some time ago. We didn't know the person who came. We've never seen him before, met him. He's just here, you know, on the mooring field on a boat a few balls down, and he noticed our boat and thought we might be able to use this extra thing that he had.
Higher. Higher. Working. Just keep going. Alright, that's good. Gotta stay in the center here.
And so we managed to rig this little house over the bow of the boat that the kids positively loved, and it's the same color as our boom tents. So it was just kind of lovely, and I mean, we can put up our other boom tent.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that's really lovely and kind of unique to the sailing community, to the people who live together on the water, to the cruising community, even sort of all of the people who live out here on the water, whether on a sailboat or a trawler. is that they look out for each other. I mean, you step 10 feet from shore and suddenly life gets a lot harder and a lot more precarious, and you're a lot more exposed to the elements, and a lot more is out of your control. So even when you're careful, you can get yourself into trouble. And we do. We do find ourselves in trouble even when we're careful, even when we're experienced out here. And so we look out for each other, and people are just so willing to help each other because they know what the sea can do, and we have a shared sense of the kind of hardships and the dangers of life out here, and it makes the community really attentive.
Well, I do think that on a sunny day, it would create a nice shady spot.
Well,
It is rather house-ish.
the kids love it as a house.
I'm pretty sure this is not exactly how it was intended to go on.
I'm positive that's not how it was intended.
I don't know if it would withstand any wind at all. When we first came back out onto the mooring field after we had been on the dock for some time, we tied up to the ball and went about our business, and before too long, a couple hours later, somebody pulled up to our boat and they were like, "Hey, is this your dinghy?" And we were like, yes. Where did you find it? It turns out that our youngest, who at the time we were out here before did not have the kind of wherewithal to untie knots, and figured out how to untie a cleat knot, and she just let the dinghy go. And there it was, floating down the river, unbeknownst to any of us. Of course, this is our only way to get to shore, and it is irreplaceable to us. It was a gift, and it's a wonderful dinghy, and we could never afford to replace it if it went on a big joyride down the river. And one of our neighbors there in the mooring field saw it and thought, "That looks curious. Are they lying down in it, perhaps?" But, sort of put two and two together and went and rescued our dinghy for us.
The tan. Come on, I will sing to you. Going high in the sky.
And it happens. This is just a sort of regular occurrence. When we were doing work on the boat, when we were fixing all of the through hulls and taking out the engine, some dirt got into the cockpit, which is very slippery, and I came back up into the cockpit and slipped on the dirt on the back and fell quite hard on my hand and did quite a bit of damage to it. And it was, a tough time of the year. COVID was kind of raging, and so word spread that I'd gotten hurt, and before long people were bringing me splints and wraps and things that they'd had when they'd gotten hurt, and so anything that they could think of, food, they were bringing food and fruits and dropping things off at our boat just to try to help out, because they knew that an injury like that, when you're a mom and you're living on the hard, they just all found any way that they could to help. Everybody was doing what they could to take some of the burden off of that difficult time for us. And of course, communities like this work like this on land too. There are often communities where people look after each other. Neighborhoods, when they're working really well, work that way too. But it's just got a distinctive character out here, because the attentiveness is sort of born out of a shared sense of the difficulties of life on the water, and so people are willing to share in each other's hardships and not just in each other's joys and sort of triumphs and celebrations. There's a real sense out here that life is hard, and we should take care of each other the best we can. It's not just that life on the water is hard or is difficult in particular ways, though it is. It's also, I think, that people who live on the water, people who live out here, they usually have a reason. It's very rare to meet someone out here who hasn't gone through some significant suffering in their lives. And while the kind of image of life on the water on a sailboat, on a yacht, is like, oh, there's just rich people that play around. I mean, there's certainly some of that out here, and there's certainly some of that, or a lot of it, when the boat is just a toy that's connected to a train of houses and cars and whatever that the person owns. But the people that live out on the water exclusively with no landed dwelling to retreat to, they've usually been through some stuff, and that creates a kind of community in itself, a community that knows what it's like for life to be hard, to lose, to suffer, to fail. And there's something really special about that. Hold on. Okay. All right. I'm filming. Is everybody ready to groan at Papa's art nerd joke?
That won't be that hard.
The new shade cover is the Bauhaus. Get it? Bauhaus?
I actually don't get it because I don't know the art term.
Okay, nobody's groaning though.
Nobody's groaning. It's such a bad joke that nobody's even groaning. I
But
give
we
up.
do
No
now
more
have
dad jokes for me.
But we do know how we now have a Bauhaus.
We have a Bauhaus.
There.
Everything's going to
is
be
our
better designed from now forward.